Okay, I wonder how this works. Oh, here we go. Hello, welcome to Christine's Creativity Cabinet, where awful alliteration is always annoying, but art making is awesome. Now today I'm going to show you how to make some really cool little charms, like these ones here that have donuts on them, from clamshell packaging. Now, what is clamshell packaging, you may very well ask? It is this. Yes, it is this horrible packaging that is impossible to open. And unfortunately, I don't really have a good solution to opening these things unless you attack them with a very good quality pair of scissors. But I do have this wonderful project for using this plastic, this clear plastic that makes up the clamshell packaging. So let's get to making art. Okay, to make these, you will need, first of all, to have some images. And I have over here some things that I got from the internet. I'm going to be demonstrating with these little donuts here, so to make more of the ones that I've already made. But you can get images from anywhere. I got these images from Pinterest. These are kind of cute. They're like soda bottle caps. You can also make your own images, like somebody made these little inchy thingies. Those would be good for the clamshell packaging. Or, but any kind of image will work. You can cut things out of magazines. You can make your own little drawings or paintings. The only requirement is that it be flat. It can't have any three-dimensional elements about it. Okay, another thing that you're going to need is something to put on the back of your images. You could make double-sided images, and if you've got something where the basic shape is always the same, like these little inchies here, that could also work. But if you don't, you can put any sort of thing you want on the back of your image. You can leave it just blank, or I like to, on my images I used, I got this little paper pad from the Dollar Tree, and I used some pattern paper. I used some paper that looks like this. So that you also need that. You'll need a glue stick. Boom. Oops. Get it into the frame there. And then let me just talk a little bit about the kind of plastic that you need. Let's see. Here are some packages that are kind of sort of clamshell, and they have the right kind of plastic. If you're using something like this, you'll want to take a pair of scissors and cut out the flat parts. So I will just do that right here. I'm going to cut this out so that I have a flat piece. Since these charms are not very big, you don't need really huge pieces. But now I have a nice little flat piece of plastic there. Okay, let me just explain a few other things. You want to be a little bit careful about your packaging because some packaging is too thick. I got this at Dollar Tree. It's a screen protector thing, but I got it for the packaging because I thought it would work for this project since it had this nice smooth plastic packaging, but it turned out to be wrong. This packaging is much too thick, and I could tell by, if you look on there, you'll see that there's these little wedgy thingies that happened. Those happened when I cut it with the scissors, and if that happens with the plastic that you're using, it means the plastic is too thick and you won't be able to punch holes in it. The holes will just make the plastic crack. So you'll want to have thinner plastic. Here's another little thing that would work. This is actually the container that I got my push pins in. And you see how this plastic is kind of flexible. That's what you want. You want a plastic that's just a little bit flexible. Now, although this is meant to be a recycling project, you might not always have access to clamshell packaging. And if you're really into these and want to do this, I found a good substitute. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It is a dry erase pouch, and this is, you just take this piece of paper out of there, like that, and you'll see that you have all this nice flat packaging. I've tried using this for making the charms and it works just great. So let's see. Then what else you also will need besides the plastic and your images, you'll need some thin wire. You want this wire to be nice and soft and real easily bendable. You're going to probably be bending it mostly with your fingers. And you're going to be doing some sewing with it. So you want thin, nicely bendable wire. And then beyond that, you'll want to have some jewelry findings for making your charms into whatever kind of jewelry we want to. So I have here, like, I'm going to take this chain and make it into a necklace with my little charms. I think they will go well on this. Another thing that you can use is pin backs. You can make the little charm without the little loop that goes on there, and then just put one of these self-sticking pin backs on the back and you have a little pin. You could also make larger pendants and just use like cord for stringing them to make a necklace. You can make little earrings. Now, I don't wear earrings, so I'm not going to demonstrate that, but I know you can get earring findings at the craft store, and these could be made into, little ones could be made into earrings. Okay, here's the tools that you will need for this project. You'll need a pair of scissors that you can use. These should be fairly good quality scissors that can cut the plastic. You'll need a styrofoam block. I got this at Dollar Tree. Though you could also, if you want to continue the whole recycling thing, you could use styrofoam packaging if you have some. I didn't, so I got this for $1 at Dollar Tree. You need push pins. These are the things that you use for bulletin boards, just the little push pins here. I like to get the ones that are a little bit longer. Those are going to be used for punching holes. You also, it's recommended, you don't necessarily have to have wire cutters, because the kind of wire that we use in this project is soft enough that you can cut it with scissors. But I like to use wire cutters anyway, just because sometimes scissors can get nicked up from cutting wire too many times. And then I also recommend having a pair of needle nose pliers. Again, you'll be twisting the wire mostly with your fingers, but at some point you need needle nose pliers to really kind of squeeze in certain areas so you don't have little ends of wire that are sticking out that could poke you. Okay, now let's get started. I'm going to start with my image here. I'm going to cut out another one of these little donuts to make another donut charm. And I'm going to cut pretty closely around the donut. Now, so I have that. So, I've already pasted to the back of these donuts a piece of that paper. I did that when the donuts were all together in one big picture. Just glued this to the back of it, and so now this has a patterned back to it. Okay, so I've got my little donut, like so. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of plastic, and I'm going to cut out. See, I've got the donut on there. But I'm gonna cut out. I'm gonna leave about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So we'll start like this, and just go leaving an edge all the way around, like that. Okay, so I'll let you see what I've got here? See, I've got that, and there's about a quarter of an inch of plastic all the way around the donut. Now, got this piece of plastic. I'm going to take another piece of plastic, and I'm going to put this on there, and I'm going to cut another piece of plastic that is exactly that size and shape. So I'm going to end up with two pieces of plastic that are just that particular size and shape. So here I am cutting here. Around like so. Okay, so now I have two pieces of plastic that are pretty much the exact size and shape. Okay, so now I'm going to take the donut and one piece of plastic, and I'm going to glue it down with a glue stick. Now I'm not going to use very much glue here. This is just to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't slide around. I don't want any chalky glue residue to be showing on the other side of my image, so I'm just going to use a little bit of glue with my glue stick. There, that should be enough. And I'm going to glue that on there. Like so. Let's see, I'm going to kind of match the shape there. There. So now I have this. And now I'm going to take the other piece of plastic and put it on top. So now I have, if you will, a little sandwich with the donut on the inside. Plastic, donut, plastic. Okay, now I'm going to take my styrofoam block and I'm going to put the donut on the block here. A little donut sandwich. Okay, and I'm going to take and put two push pins in here to hold it down, because they're also going to make two of the holes that are going to be punched into this. So I got one on this side and one on this side. There we go. So now that's all pinned down. Then I'm going to take another push pin and I'm going to punch holes all the way around. So there may be about an eighth of an inch apart, possibly, but you don't have to measure, be exact. These are going to be your sewing holes, so that kind of gives you an idea of what they need to be. So I just punch, 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 like this. So now I'll remove it from the styrofoam. Pick it up. Doesn't want to pick up. There we go. Gotta match those holes really good there. So now I'll let you see that. You see I've got holes punched all the way around. That's what I'm going to be sewing through those holes with the wire. So let's get out some wire. You want to cut a piece of wire that's probably quite a bit longer than you think you're going to need. And that's just because at the end of it, when you're making the final loop, you want a little excess to be able to handle, because otherwise it's just too hard to handle. So I'm going to cut a nice long piece of wire here. And I'm going to use my wire cutters like I said that I would. Almost use the scissors. Clip. Okay, so now I've got a little piece of wire. So now I'm going to start. I usually like these kind of oblong donuts that I start on one of the along the long axis there. So I'm going to stick this through here just a little bit. I'm going to bend that back around, and then I'm going to twist it onto itself, just like that. Just enough to make it stay. Okay. And then, let's see, I'm going to take the little wire cutters and cut off just that little end there. There. So it doesn't get in my way. And now I'm going to sew. I'm going to use an overcast stitch So that just means that I'm going to go from front to back. I'm always going to go front to back. That's how you do an overcast stitch, and it makes a nice little stitch that goes around. This is kind of like, remember doing sewing cards as a kid? It's kind of like a smaller version of that. So now I've got that. Put it in the next hole, pull it through. And see, I'm starting to make little overcast stitches around there. So I'm going to just continue in this fashion until I've sewn the whole thing up. Okay, so now I've sewed all the way around. You can see that. And now I'm going to take the, you see I've got kind of a little loop right there. I'm going to take the wire and go underneath that loop. If I can, if it will let me. Because I'm on camera, it's a lot harder than it was when I was off camera. Patient here. I'll eventually get that through. There we go. There. Okay, so I'm pulling this through. I'm going to pull it down until it's about, just about where I would like it to be to make a little hoop, a little loop there, which is how you would attach it to something. So now I've got it down that far. Now I'm going to twist this, twist, 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 and now I've got a little loop on there. And then I just need to trim this off. And I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and bend down the end so that it doesn't poke anybody. Bend this thing down. Not the best with these pliers, but there we go. And there, voila! I've got a charm. And in the next segment, I will show you what you can do to attach these to things. Okay, now the last step is to make all these little charms into a necklace. And I have a chain for this. This chain is longer than it needs to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on myself and figure out how long I want the necklace to be. And then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to see if I can disconnect one of these rings here, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. Shoot. Find where the little gap is. Right there. I'll just take that ring entirely off. And then I should have a piece of the chain that's about the right length. I'm going to try it on myself. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Oh! They're enthusiastic there. Okay, Now I got these little they're called lobster clasps, and I just realized that those are 10 piece, and I have 16 charms, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But I also got these little guys that came with the chain, so maybe we can put those into use there. Okay, so first I'm going to figure out what I've got here for a chain and how I'm going to move everything over this way, it looks like, and how I'm going to arrange these on the necklace. So let's see. Just so that you can see there that I've got that all arranged like that. So that tells me what I want to do, and I'm going to try to use these little guys to attach to the chain. First I have to open the package, which also has that same kind of plastic, by the way. Okay, this is the little guy here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little wire. We'll get some of this. Just a very small piece. Wire cutters here. Piece of wire. We're going to put that through here. We're going to put that through that little hole there and bend it around. We're going to attach that to the loop of the charm. If I had thought ahead, I could have just attached one of these as I was making the charms, but I didn't do that, so that's why this step is necessary. Clip it. Little ends. There, like that. And now I've got that on there. And now I'm going to see this little thing opens up. And I'm going to attach that to there. And so now I have one attached to the chain. You can see that there. And that will be the same that I will do with the others. see that I've got a bunch of them on there. I'm going to spare you having to watch putting the rest of them on, and we're going to skip through the magic of editing to the end. Okay, so I've got charms on them all, and I ended up not using all 16 of the charms. I just used 12, and the last 2 I had to just put on with wire because I ran out of the little rings. But the very last step is I'm going to put this tiny little clasp ring right there. See it there on the end so that I have a clasp for my necklace. And I'm going to put that on using this little jump ring that came with it. So basically all I have to do is stick it through that little bitty hole. It's very tiny. And then stick it through one of the very last chain of this. And take my needle nose pliers. Is it on there? Yes, it is. It's on there. And close it up. So here's my needle nose pliers, and I'm gonna close that ring up. Close that up. There. So now I have a clasp on there, and now I can clasp this to the other end. So, and now I have a necklace made out of all these nice charms. Let you see it. Okay, here's the finished necklace, and I'm wearing it. I think it looks nice on next to this shirt, which I totally changed into. No, actually I filmed this over a period of several days, so I'm wearing a different set of clothing, and I'm really kind of bummed out that the light seems to be reflecting off of all the charms, so you can't see them. But look at this. Check this out. I put my hand here. You can see each little charm magically appear. Isn't that cool? Ooh. So it shows you how beautifully colored they are and how nice they look. Ooh, magic! Okay, I hope you had fun watching this, and I hope you have fun trying out this project. If you like this video, be sure to click like and subscribe. Comments about the project are welcome. I'd like to hear about you if you've decided to try the project. Complaints about the humorous quality of this video or my appearance should be addressed to British Airways, Ingram's Drive, Redditch. And now, go out and make art.